Was your Tyler's back with my SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom review, and I did beat this game last Thursday. Before I do that, what if on episode 9 now? Well, episode 10 will be on Saturday, perhaps. I don't know. This is the rehydrated version, which is the remaster version, which is called. But yeah, the original 2003 original game came out in 2003. But this one, the rehydrate came out in 2020. So yeah, this is a fun game. Now I'm gonna do the PC version also because there's it's a different version to this. So yeah, but we're gonna talk about the console version first. So yeah, the game begins with Plankton making some robots, and he forgot to put them on obey, so the robots throw him out of his own chum bucket. So yeah, and then SpongeBob and Patrick make a wish to have real robots, and then everything gets messed up. Now there's a lot of levels in this game. A lot. First level is, now you don't have to do them in order, but that's fine. So yeah, but the first level is always gonna be Jellyfish Fields, and the first thing of the cutscene is Squidward running away from a robot and then getting stung by a bunch of jellyfish, and SpongeBob says, and oh my god, you're bald! And Squidward said, I've always been bald, but anyways, you're trying to get some jellyfish from King Neptune, or King Jellyfish, my bad, not King Neptune, which is your first boss fight. So yeah, you go through a lot of enemies, which are the robots, and for some reason, jellyfish. But anyways, there were a lot of different robots, and you can switch by a butt stop. So if you want to switch between the main characters you play as are on the rehydrated version, which are SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy. But they're different in some ways. So Jellyfish is SpongeBob and Patrick. So yeah, but the boss fight is King Jellyfish, and you beat him. Now there's a health bar between green, yellow, and red. Sometimes there's gonna be like 3 to beat him. Sometimes there's gonna be more than 3. So yeah. So you get the jellyfish go back to Squidward to get the jellyfish and rubs it on him, and you get the first of spatulas. So yeah, that's the other thing. You have to defeat a lot of robots, and sometimes you get some spatulas. The next part is downtown Bikini Bottom, where SpongeBob and trying to help Mrs. Puff. Anyways, you go to you're trying to get a lot of steering wheels for this level, and Sandy does all the rope thing. You press on the top two will be where her lasso is. So yeah, and the next, there isn't a boss fight here. But you get all the steering wheels, and then you go past that, and next one is the Goo Lagoon. So trying to help Larry and Mr. Krabs with a lot of stuff. So Mr. Krabs is his carnival. Larry's trying to get the robots out of here. So there's basically that. There's no boss fight. And then you go to the next portion of it, which you get your first main boss fight, which is a Robot Sandy. This is a fun boss fight. It switches between SpongeBob and then Patrick. So yeah. You beat this Robot Sandy, and then you move on to the next parts, which you have to have Sandy with his tree dome, her tree dome, my bad, to from the robots, and then your next levels are Sand Mountain, which you don't have to do the time missions, so that's a side of it. You have to do. Squidward needs your help. Squidward needs your help to basically beat up all the robots, and there's that. Sometimes Plankton will help you also, but he's up to no good, because SpongeBob says you're trying to steal the Krabby Patty formula, which how many times Plankton tries to fail. Yeah. Then you go to the Merma Lair, try to help Merman and Barnacle Boy, and then your next boss fight is Prong, who we never see him in any of the episodes. But you beat Prong and lock him up. So yeah. Next and you get the specialist. So yeah, next level. What's the next level? Rock bottom. And not the Rock's finisher, though. Rock bottom. You're trying to help Mrs. Puff get those pictures back to the museum. And you do. There's more enemies. Like, there's sleepy robots. There's robots that are like here. Ones with hammers and shotgun, the taser guns. My bad. There's a lot. And there's one that circle around with fire, and yeah. Now this level is self-explanatory, and you get more specialists because of it. Then the next boss fight is the robot Patrick. So you have to switch between either Spongebob the first portion and stay in the next portion, and then Spongebob back in the last portion. And you beat Robot Patrick. And the next levels are, well, you have to help Mr. Krabs with his Krusty Krab because it's been your favorite robot. The last three before the last stage, are Flying Dutchman's place. You have to help the Flying Dutchman take out those robots, and then you fight the Flying Dutchman. I forgot to mention you have to collect socks for Patrick. If you get 10, you get extra specialist. So there's that. Sandy fights the Flying Dutchman, and he gets you the spatula. Next one is Kel Force, which is a really unique level. You have to save some campers and find Spongebob some stuff. And there's that. And then last one is the Dream World, and no, Freddy Krueger's not gonna be in this. So there's that. You have to stop the robots from invading their dreams, except for Squidward's. It was kind of lame, that level is. And the last boss fight is the robot SpongeBob and Plankton. So yeah. And then Plankton says, yes, I was behind this, but he forgot to put the obey thing, and then there's a robot Plankton that says, they obey me, and you fight the last boss fight. It's a tough boss fight. But you can manage to beat it. And you beat the robots. And there's that. Now the PC version, I'm gonna quickly go through it because it's a little different than the console versions. It's the same story basically, but except the robots left Plankton and he forgot to put the obey thing to off. Again, and then the robots invade. There's like the PC version a little different because it's a mouse. You have to use the mouse to like walk around, and then there's like these final levels that are not final robots. So yeah, there's the Mermalair, there's the Flying Dutchman's graveyard thing, Chum Bucket, Kelp Forest, Downtown Bikini Bottom. That's basically, what is it, 5 levels? And it's a little different ending because Patrick destroyed the machine, and that's the PC version. It's a fun little like version of it, but this is a really, really hidden, amazing game. One of the best games from SpongeBob. And it's a lot better than the one I reviewed back in, February, which was Plankton's Robotic Revenge. That was just meh. This game, except for the dream level, I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. This is the best SpongeBob game. Either original, because the graphics in the original look good, but on the rehydrated version, remastered version, they look really good. So the graphics are great, the controls are really good. The story is great. Boss fights are fun, except the last one, which was really tough. Because it's 2 in 1. And yeah, next game review, I don't know what game I'm going to do. I don't know what game I'm going to do next. Maybe perhaps the open season game from 2006. Maybe a wrestling game like WCW NWO Revenge. Let's do WCW NWO Revenge. Okay. Like this video, comment down below, and you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I'll be back with my Dynamite review. Not looking forward to that tomorrow. Let's be honest here. Bye.